they don't, what they'll do is they'll go, well, we need to get it at this price. If you don't sell it at this price to us, then we'll just find and wait it out until somebody does. And what that ultimately did was put a lot of people out of business. So I totally get your point with the hemp thing. But if we just simply said absolutely no synthetic versions whatsoever, and you have a THC cap, right? That's actually workable. Then that would put the onus on the people that makes decisions to do that, to do better and be better in regulating this. So I get what you're saying is like, you shouldn't have cost you $100,000 right out the gate before you even made a dollar. That was just exploiting the situation.
Correct.
And
And I shouldn't have to go to Pure Leaf and HPI Canna. Like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous what I have to go through just to be in the industry.
so I would recommend that you do what we're doing, because there's a conversation that's come up where
Yeah.
you can do if you and another 100 operators or 200 operators now have a basis for a class action suit to sue the state of New York. You said you were in New York. A lot of these places have a class action suit because one thing that the state did that they messed up. We have an interstate, or we have a commerce clause, and a lot, not just state but nationally, right? So they've hindered you, they've set you back, and then they've overtaxed you. Especially here, they've overstepped and overtaxed. So what you do is you don't even necessarily have to win the court case. You just want to bring attention to it, to where the point where they kicks them in action. We're like, okay, we need to take care of this and all that. As an example, New York, and I went to all those meetings. So I spent probably close to 3 months in New York and listening to, I can't, her name escapes me, but when it was my turn to talk, I was like, you're gonna model this off of Colorado and Washington, but that's a disastrous way to do it. But also, I asked them, why weren't they gonna go ahead and be a pioneer and take the tax revenue that they're gonna collect from it and reinvest it back into the industry that is going to be the largest industry. The hemp and cannabis industry is going to be the largest industry if it was allowed to fly. And once you break the brakes off of it, and the suppression and the block that the farm and alcohol lobby got on this, cannabis will not only be the largest commodity in this country, but it will bring so many jobs. And it'll make the U.S. a superpower again, and it'll make it a pioneer and a beacon again. We've just lost that. We've lost that over the years due to greed and everything else. So now, but to get to your main point, precise, is think about it this way: if they allow to monopolize and all that, the small operators aren't going to be able to compete, say, with import exports, because they'll be able to go get cheap labor in South America. They'll blow out hundreds of thousands, millions of square feet, and then they'll re-import it back in, just like every other crop that we have in the United States. As an example, we get a lot of grain from Ukraine, even though we have some of the best farmland in this country. But they're like, oh, it's cheaper to grow it on the other side of the world, put it on a boat, and bring it back here. It's just like it. We could manufacture lumber products, we could manufacture flooring, all that. But what they do is they put all that wood on a boat, send it over to China, and send it over across the country, manufacture something, put it back on, and bring it back. And that comes at the expense of America. But my point is with hemp and cannabis, if it was allowed to fly, we could replace a lot of stuff. We could replace a lot of petroleum products. We could obviously replace paper, all that stuff. But that we can't seem to get our politicians to get off the tit of these lobbyists, right? So the worst thing that's ever happened to this country, and the worst ruling, in my opinion, is Citizen United. Citizen United is what put us in this position today.
Was that?
Thank you for your insights and opinions. We are not giving any medical advice here. This is all just educational, informational discussion. But I agree with you on many of the points you made in house. Thank you so much. Richard, hi, welcome. You guys, we're never going to get through all seven of these, I can tell already. But go ahead, Richard, if you can try to keep it brief, because I want to at least hit one more of the claims and hear a little bit more from Andrew and Paul. Thanks so much.
Hi, everybody. I just need to stop by and check, see if I had things up and running again, because I just switched service providers. Does it sound okay?
You sound wonderful. It's so great to hear your voice. Thanks for joining us today.
Great. Thanks, son. Hey, I'll drop on down.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Please share the space, everyone. We're probably going to go for another 10, 15 minutes, unless, again, the, spirit moves. But we'll go to...
Milana?
Paul, go ahead, and then I'm going to pull up the next one, the next client.
Yeah,
Lead us
I
in.
think it's an
Hey, Paul,
important.
check your DMs. Paul, check your DMs.
All right, I will. Thank you. What I wanted to bring up, I think, is an important point. Is that we were talking about edibles versus smoked cannabis, and I think it's important for people to fully understand that the delivery of the cannabis components is completely different through the different pathways of the body. And if you're ingesting cannabis through orally through your digestive system, it has there's a transformation of the materials that's different than if you're inhaling it directly into your lungs and it goes into your bloodstream. And so that's
But you're
one
talking
thing.
about literally eating the plant itself, correct? Because I just want to make sure that we stay on topic, at least for purposes of the claims and the
No,
studies.
I wasn't.
They never Okay,
I
I'm
wa-
sorry, my bad.
I was no. I can clarify. In terms of the edibles that were referred to, the gummies and such,
Okay.
take a completely different pathway, but our digestive system transforms the materials in a way that doesn't occur in the smoking of it or the vaping of it.
It has to go through your liver and everything else,
Yeah, but the other thing I wanted to mention is that in terms of the purity and toxicity and the different synthetic materials that are added to the green plant material, oftentimes creating different smokables that incorporate or that mix the synthetics with.
I don't think they were giving out weed. I think they were putting like
occurring
razor blades in that shit and
components.
shit, Chris.
You know,
You want a
that's
razor blade candy? You
that's
still go trick or
a
treating,
matter
dog?
that requires available testing. I brought that
Don't
up
tell me
earlier,
you still go
but,
trick or treating.
the investment in the industry also needs to be directed into increasing the availability of testing of product. People should be able to just walk in off the street, hand over a sample, and have it analyzed.
Just do it.
And that is an entirely
That's a funny one.
achievable.
Even better, home testers. The technology's coming out now. There's some really great
Well,
stuff
I mean,
coming out.
home growers, rarely test their soil for contaminants. You can buy soil mixes and things that have been tested, but there are a lot of things that can be in the soil that affect the composition of the end material that need to be tested for, and the
Paul,
amount
can
of money
you
that
expound really briefly why the soil is so important when we're talking about or not just the soil, the substrate, whether it is soil or it's hydro or rock wall or whatever.
Cocoa
sure.
or cocoa.
Yeah, well, I mean, all those things have their different advantages and disadvantages, but the bottom line is that the natural plant. I'm a biodynamic gardener, and I invest my effort in cultivating the soil so that the symbiotic relationships between the microbiome and the plant are maximized, and that includes the mycorrhizal fungi and the stability of the material that you're using in terms of what it does to the plant and for the plant, and in treating your plants as as a being whom you respect, because that, those dimensions of agriculture are rarely considered in terms of the esoteric, spiritual, and integrated symbiotic relationship that people have with the things that they ingest, not just cannabis, but also the food and the animals that we consume. All of those things have a spiritual dimension to them. And in fact, Thanksgiving is the time to think about our Creator who provides all these things for us, whoever that is, whatever that is. And so to give thanks for the harvest, to give thanks for the miracle that is cannabis. And I could tell stories forever about the miracles of it. But if you look around at the people that you know who have been using cannabis for a long time and have a prolonged experience with it, in my case, in my life, the people that I know, some of them in their 70s and 80s, who continue to develop their relationship with cannabis, not just the psychoactive parts of the plant, but also the non-decarboxylated forms of the plant that increases your relationship with it. And that's the thing, is you have an individual choice and an individual responsibility to respect what is offered, and that's a big part of it. And it's, I think it's rarely incorporated into the family experience, because there's so much contextual conflict in surrounding the subject, and rather than being and yet, the truth is the genie's out of the bottle, as was mentioned earlier. We're not going back. The people that have been doing this, like myself, for decades, in spite of the prohibition, in spite of the irrational social prejudice that's been developed around this plant, the fact is that this country is far behind in its scientific investigations compared to a country like Israel, where they've been studying cannabis all along. And the suppression of the industry in this country is as much a market choice or a market influence as the paternalistic governmental control that is so beautifully articulated by Dr. Todd McArea in the film that I have on YouTube of my interview with him in 2004, where his medical license was being threatened because he was telling the truth about cannabis, and his pioneering work in writing prescriptions when it wasn't allowed. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and he's one of them. And if you want to know what cannabis does to the human body, just you can either watch my film or you can read the transcript that I made of the film by hand, because really, to fully understand Dr. McArea's wisdom, you really have to listen to it more than once. I'll go ahead and
I think that it's important, because it's kind of leading to the bigger. If we zoom out further, when we're talking about the modern day society and these the state of cannabis in the modern day world, we are starting from a point where our own endocannabinoid system and biome, most of us, were born into a culture whose nutritional foundations are already kind of setting us up for problems, right? We know now that those unique and essential fatty acids and essential amino acids and that perfect omega rich protein source of the hemp seed, and again, we're not, these studies that we were talking about earlier are focused on high THC cannabis, but it goes to show that a population, I think that's something to consider, is that would our baseline be different if we were all nutritionally supplying our own endocannabinoid with those building blocks it needs to provide that perfect homeostasis, that well-being. And that was more a question I wanted to maybe hear from Andrew on, what's some of the broader perspective on, us, as our modern day culture. We're looking at a society that, we're learning more than ever has been really not eating proper nutrition. And if anything, we've got a highly toxic modern day diet for the most part. And I just, I wonder sometimes, would the risk for psychosis even be as high in a body whose own endocannabinoid system is balanced and functioning.
What up, Far Out?
Anyone can, we don't even have to answer that. That's just one of my thoughts, I guess, when we're talking about this. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Come on up.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I missed what you were just saying. If you'd like to change that.
I'm just pointing out that now that we know, our own inner, our endogenous system that balances our own homeostasis, and even creates that, that high euphoric feeling that we love from THC. Our own body makes that when supported properly, with those nutritional building blocks that it needs to create, endocannabinoids. So I'm just wondering, is that ever taken into account in these studies that, our culture is already, our baseline is already very malnourished, and these factors could, knowing that we have an endocannabinoid system, that does that affect how an imbalanced endocannabinoid system is going to experience cannabis, THC cannabis? Anyway, maybe we need Jana for this, maybe. But we've been going for 2 hours. This was a great space, and I really hope, if anything, it just encourages us all to, yes, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, the app is.
You got a bad toothache?
It's so glitchy. I already know. No worries. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I was responding to you. So, the physiology of our endocannabinoid system and the processes through which all of these things happen, it's actually a beautiful, incredible process. If you think about how, substances in general and how our brain functions and how the neurochemistry and the neural networks function, it's a miracle that we have any concept of organization or support organization, which every system requires. And so, particularly when it relates to like cannabis, we just don't have enough information. The reality is we need more investment in studies, in independent studies, in conversations, and the catch-all, end-all, soundbite era that we live in currently is excessively harmful to the way that we're able to move through the world and integrate information into our decision making. If we think about cannabis, it doesn't act like a single switch in the bloodstream. It's really more like a constellation, right? You have the THC, you have the CBD, you have an individual's mindset, which is a huge component of well-being. You have the environment, and I really was enjoying listening to the conversation about how this is being cultivated. And for me particularly, what I find interesting is the methodology through which all of our agriculture is being cultivated, particularly at an industrial scale, and the excessive use of harmful chemicals in the production of not just cannabis, but in our food supply and in our water supplies. And recently, I was just reading an article that the EPA just approved 2 new agents to be used that are loaded with PFAS and PFOs.
I saw that.
And one could easily lose their mind. And if you're talking about, well, what's harmful, it's like, well, this is what we call a confounding variable. Whenever you do a study, you have to account for the fact that there are things we just cannot explain, because science at the end of the day is explaining variance. And good scientific experiments require a lot of variance. What that means is we need large population samples. We need to minimize these confounding variables. Is it the cannabis, or is it the particular pesticides or particular chemical agents that are interacting with components as well? And of course, you can rule out as much as you want, but even with studies like if they look at nanoplastics, every single individual has nanoplastics in their bloodstream. So finding a true control group is nearly impossible, right? So overall, the way I think cannabis can influence and interact both the individual and collectively the environment really it's again behaves more like a constellation. All these components are interacting to shape how we as vessels function in the world, and whether we alternate or move through the contradiction is a phenomenon. But most importantly, it's just so important for us to take a moment and think about how these particular things may be influencing us, and every person should be reflecting, both on an individual level, how is this influencing your life, how is it affecting you, what are the general impacts, and being unbiased in that. We may enjoy feeling euphoric, we may enjoy feeling that dopamine. Is that that search for that dopamine inhibiting our ability to live a good life, to function to a degree through which we want to? If it's inhibiting things and it's causing disruption and dysregulation in how you're functioning, then that's where any good conversation after that is, okay, well, let's see what's working, what's not working, and let's try to find a healthy balance between those things. And so that's something I think we don't really talk about enough. I think a lot of it focuses on the sensationalism of the newest study, or maybe someone's particular opinion, and how that study can reinforce that opinion. But we have to have these open conversations. We have to be prepared to be humble, and it's okay to be wrong. And what do we learn from that is really, I think, the biggest thing that we can grow.
I couldn't agree more. And I also just wanted to add that the other conversation that isn't had enough is the subject of cannabis as a first aid remedy, because it is an extremely important first aid remedy. And when you're dealing with something like severe head trauma, cannabis is the most effective immediate first aid procedure that is hardly ever discussed. And in the context of the broader subject, I think it's important to recognize that you can make a drug from an herb, but you can't make an herb from a drug. And because drugs don't make seeds, herbs make seeds, there is a distinction between them. And we need to understand the significance of that distinction fully. Also, I'm going to post a photo to the Purple Pill of the sky outside my cabin right now, which is being streaked with nanoparticles and aluminum. So the baseline environment that we live in is also something that needs to be regarded, in the context of this conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been really good. Good stuff, guys. Does anyone else have anything they want to add or ask before we wrap up?
I think we should do a part 2 to include all the questions that are left over.
You guys want to do a part 2? I felt like this was painful enough, but okay. It's good practice. I mean, I like the challenge of getting out of the,
Hey, Queen.
This was
Hey, Queen, on Saturdays, Queen, I do Grow Talk, where I stream out to 12 platforms with all the growers.
Went to the bank, got some records.
See, I like this other guy, Cannabis for head trauma. Is that Young Thug? I'm gonna create a bunch of bundle sets of different trend magnets. So right now I've been doing research, trying to find the people that are selling some on eBay. So watch. Let's see. So I just been here's one for example. This person's selling a butter, but none sold. I could see what sold and what didn't sell for them. It's pretty much the same magnet I could make. It's a little bit different. This one might be an acrylic one by the looks of it. So it wouldn't be the same product. So I could do something similar, but they gave me an idea so they're doing different trending album covers. So you could do any album cover on there. Come out nice. Someone will buy eventually. $6 per magnet. 2 for $5.40. These are pretty good prices right here. But basically, I could see what would work for this person, could recreate it and like try it with different ideas and shit. So you can filter all the search options by sold and completed. So that's what I just did right now with the search refrigerator magnet 2x2. See, it's that same girl or guy, I don't know, selling a Taylor Swift album cover. Taylor Swift album cover. This is 3 in the same day. They probably got the 3 for whatever. This is another person. They don't have too many 2x2s, but they do a lot of magnet sales. But not a lot of, so I like their I only looked a little bit on this guy's, but he's got a lot of bigger. He's not selling though. This little, the album person I found sells more than this guy right here. This guy likes to put like vintage shit on, vintage like signs and different things. But he doesn't sell that much. But he's got a lot of reviews. He's at 222K actually. That's a lot. 222K. How much does this chick sell? This person sold 347 items. They're just getting into it. You can look at this specific person's sold completed listings. Yesterday they sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magnets, all Taylor Swift, and this is a McDonald's one. A McDonald's one. So my new magnets are gonna be a little bit bigger than this. This is 2 inch by 3 inch. Mine's gonna be 2.5 by 3.5. Slightly bigger than this. I took some footage of the two different colors we got for the available right now for the seed germinators. I'm gonna post that today. This guy also did a lot of like destination ones. People go to a place but they didn't get a magnet, so they go buy one. Kind of smart, but I see a lot of these sold. 7 sold. 10 sold. Okay, let's see if we could find some of these type of photos on Etsy. Or not Etsy, Pinterest. Let's try welcome to California. I think we could do this whole photo of this sign. But he's using like vintage. Oh, let me try to do this. Redwood State Park. It goes into a whole one right here. Look, you can go get up all these ones. Greetings from Texas. Let's go far out. Alright, I'm just gonna go be doing some more, just collecting images and making some sample magnets and putting some listings on eBay and shit and just trying to grind up. Yeah, some people do those. Definitely. It just depends on what you want to do, you know? You can make money doing a lot of things, but you also, like, some things that you spend your energy on, like, it could be draining on your life force. So I feel like you gotta be aware of that kind of stuff. Even though it's not written in any books or laws, you know? My son is gonna ask them if they want to trade weed for potatoes. You should make adult magnets with booties on them. I make custom magnets. If you come with me and you want to make custom magnets of whatever dirty photos you got, I don't care. I'll make whatever photos you want, but Chris always knows where the line is, and he always loves to cross that shit. He's the type of guy. He's like, oh, there's a line there. I'ma cross it. He's always got some type of horny, dirty thought in his head. That's crazy. I'll stay on the live a little bit more and kick it if anybody wants to stay and talk. I'm just gonna be like working in the background trying to put out some test images and we'll put them on magnets and see how they look. Take some photos, just list them for shits and giggles. If they sell, they sell. If they don't, then I just gotta get rid of that magnet, you know. But I need one product photo of it like actually on a magnet. I can use the AI, but I'd rather have the legit one. This is a popular album cover right now. It's about to blow up. Ooh, King of the Hill. Oh, look at this one at Bobby. That's it. I need that. I need that. King of the Hill, man. Let's do some King of the Hill. King of the Hill is goated. It's a good one, perfect size. Oops. Two, three, four. Rusty Shackleford. Kill Fitty Man. I killed Fitty Man. These are not that good. Let me just skip these. I don't like any of these. Hey, look, this is them as a... yeah, John Rancourt, but as Piccolo. Sick. Oh no, what I find right here. Let's go to the troll images folder. Troll images. The hell images move. Gotta be talking about this one, right? Delete that shit. Bobby looking like a Matrix agent. Yeah, he is. This is a whole niche right here. A lot of people like Doom, actually. I could go down a whole Doom rabbit hole, probably. Get some good ass images. Do this for the season real quick. Next week, I should have this week actually, a couple days. So I'll be able to do like big images, like even magazine covers is a good idea. Movie covers, like movie books. I could do all types of shit. I'm gonna be going ham, trying to just tap into all the niche markets. I need to find all the niche markets that have like crazy, like die-hard fan bases, like Chris Brown album covers. Out there somewhere, there's gotta be like a Chris Brown fan that wants to fuck your magnet or some shit, right? Here we Gobble, gobble, let's go. If you guys were to make your own trending magnets, what do you think would trend? What let's do some more research. Money is something I better do. Wanna hit that little bitch on the patio. You done put a little bitch on the pedestal. I got served my couple of medical. Watch it twirl, I mix it like chemicals. And I pick up the cash on a regular. I can't fit all this shit in my schedule. Then you not lit, bitch, you regular. We don't know you right now, you anonymous. When a papa come work for the company. When you rich, you can help the economy. They thought I fell out, but I'm still a bit bustin'. I can't see nobody else running me. What's up? What are some iconic album covers from the past that you guys like the bands you guys used to listen to? I'll go over. Open the door, it park. Don't play with me, I'm a shark. Real ice, you can see in the dark. Don't play with me, play with a fork. But the rock ain't sipping on park. With the way my bank out of short. And the flow sees rockin' the yard. I don't know about you, but your money is something I better do. Wanna hit that little bitch on the patio. You done put a little bitch on the pedestal. I got served my couple of medical. Watch it twirl, I mix it like chemicals. Then I pick up the cash on a regular. I can fit all this shit in my schedule. Then you not lit, bitch, you regular. We don't know you right now, you anonymous. When a papa come work for the company. Damn, he's selling 9 magnets for $18.99, dude. He's cheaper than me. This guy he sold some vintage Crush photos. Pink Floyd, wish you were here. Okay, hold on. Is it this one? This guy on fire? This one? Any other album covers you guys remember? That's badass. it's like two that might go together, like this Kendrick, these two. This I could do like a package, or if I could get an artist, I could do I get multiple of theirs and put them all into one bundle. Sheesh. Which one's that? A lot of these would be cool magnets. This guy did a Patrick one. A different type of magnet. Similar. Similar, but not the same as mine. I really too fun now. You want to do any of these, Uncle Emer? You want to see any of these on a magnet? I got 2 more spots right now. I need to print if I can print. So I can list them as singles if they sell, and I could I just print more of the same image, you know. But this way you're tiptoeing on other people's copyrighted stuff, you know. So just do this for like start up, and then try not to do it too much. Nah, I gotta work tomorrow. I just got today off. I'm gonna be working on these bangers. Hope you guys all have a great day. It's your boy Spooky. Stay grinding. Alright, guys.